Alright, Draco collecting back with another video. This time, something a little bit different. This is actually the thing that's been sucking my time up, and part of the reason why I haven't been able to do videos. Um, I'm on the East Coast, so it's been pretty nice around this time of the year, you know, with it being summer. So I've been visiting my dad, and this is my project car that is at his house. I've been working on this for the better part of probably about 7 years now. It's a 1988 Pontiac Fiero, and I'm transferring the old engine out and replacing it with a 1991 Cadillac Eldorado 4.9 liter V8 engine, which actually being an aluminum block is about the same weight as my old four cylinder that was in my car originally. Now, the audio is going to sound a little bit different in a couple seconds because I lost the original audio footage at this point. But basically, I just go into talking about the swap and what I've been doing. This is sort of in between like a restoration and an engine swap. I want it to be an engine swap, but I want it to be realistic. I don't like this whole idea of you do an engine swap and the car is all hacked together. I want this to be proper. I know my welds that my brother had done here don't look that impressive, but the exhaust setting itself is set up proper. It's aimed correctly. I intend on having air conditioning on this car. At this point, I'm just going to go over explaining some of the work that has to be done here. Like you can see from earlier, the front is a little bit thinner. The rear is a little bit thicker. The exhaust is not aimed properly, so I had to cut this section, and he's going to be tack welding this so that we can weld the whole section together to fix this issue so that my V-band clamp down there actually all fits together properly. As of right now, it's holding together fine. I have everything clamped up in the front like you see here, and I have the rear mounts securing it. So hopefully you can just tack this for me and get this straightened out. Basically, there's a little bit of work here to be done with fitting the exhaust. There's a bracket that I put on here, just a standard one you buy from the auto parts store, that I'm going to run the springs into to attach it. So I'm going to be looking for this spring now, and I'm going to cut over to past myself and cut back to that ugly footage that we had from the audio take there. Sorry about that. So I just dropped the recorder, so it might have just blipped there for a second. Anyway, these are the springs that go on here. And it sort of holds the whole exhaust under tension. Like you see, I kind of set it over here, and it kind of, I'm going to need to like stretch to pull it over here to this hole here. I'm probably going to have to buy like a special tool for this thing though. But basically, you kind of like put them in like backwards and like pull them over like that, and stretch them up onto this hook here. When it's on there, it works pretty good. I just lose that for now. This other one, they gave me this funky looking bracket with like a bushing mount thing over here, but I have no idea how I'm supposed to use that. So I'm probably going to end up doing the same thing, just probably drilling a couple holes into this metal here, maybe changing the profile of this, cutting it down or something so it won't interfere with the side here to get my springs on it. The back is already held up pretty decent. The back is held up by the two stainless steel supports from good old Rodney Dickman there. These are specific. I didn't realize it when I originally grabbed these off a junkyard car that the 84, 85, 86, 87 model is totally different for this back end support. So I had to get that and actually find some like license plate screws to hold this thing together, which was kind of weird. But I mean, that holds it together pretty good. You can see you can actually see all the welds on the inside of the muffler here. There's very little baffling or anything in there, but on a 2.5 exhaust on this car, that's pretty much okay. The traditional route people like to go with this swap. They go and they take the forward manifold across this pipe. Sorry for all the wires in the way. Still fixing that a little bit. They bring the front manifold into this crossover, into the rear manifold, and out this outlet into whatever kind of like, you know, cherry bomb type muffler, whatever thing they want to put in the bottom here, which I don't know. I like how this setup looks. I want it to be more of a, at least somewhat, factory appearing job when it's done, not something that looks kind of hacked together. I know the unequal length header probably isn't going to help me too much there, but this has been a long-term project. I've been running into a lot of issues, unfortunately. Most recently, I had this whole engine assembly in the car, actually, and I had to pull the thing back out because I found out that the flex plate was not torqued down properly. So I was hearing like this tapping, like rattling noise, and yeah, it just beat the heck out of the flex plate and egg-shaped all the holes. So I had to get another flex plate from another Cadillac out of the junkyard, which I ended up going to eBay for because, well, I can't be bothered to take apart a 4T60 trans off a, relatively lightweight motor. But I mean, that transmission that's no joke. That is not easy to take that apart or get that out of there. All the mounts were done, same thing. I believe West Coast Fiero supplied all these mounts that I used. The axles, the standard Pontiac 6000 axles, I believe, is what people recommend for this. I think one side might be too close, but I'll have to check the clearances once it's actually in the car. Polyurethane rear mounts and everything. That's pretty standard. A lot of rust here. That's from taking the struts off. That was last week's little project that, again, I wish I would have shown you guys some of this stuff a lot sooner, but I'm pull it out of here. So I got the brand new strut here from Napa. The bottom mount, the top mount, there's like rubbers in here. Oop, can't even hold it up and show you. But there's like rubber mounts on the bottom of the spring and the top of the spring. Those were bought new from the Fiero store. The springs are still my old ones. I did hit them with a little bit of like rust removal spray type stuff. It didn't really do a whole heck of a lot, but it didn't really have a whole heck of a lot of rust on there. The top hats, I tried to like walnut blast those down, but it didn't really do much. You can still see it's really muddy, really cruddy under there, but the paint stuck really well. I don't see any chipping. I'm beating the heck out of the thing, and there's nothing really wrong with it. Mounts were replaced new from the Fiero store. I think those can... Oh, sorry, no, the mounts are actually from Napa as well. The mounts are from Napa as well. So the strut is from Napa, the mount is from Napa, and the rubber mounts are from the Fiero store. Those were replaced. I also got the mounting hardware for this thing. I don't know if I actually needed those or not, but I mean, the Fiero store sells them, so, support your local business. I mean, I'm in PA, they're in Connecticut, so it takes about 2-3 days to ship to me. If I can avoid getting the microphone caught in the box here. But yeah, that's what we're dealing with. This is obviously my dad's Buick over here. My dad's RX-7 as well. That's a V8 swap car that we bought like that. But yeah, obviously the shop's a lot of a mess right now. But as I get the stuff back in the car, it starts to get a lot cleaner. So it's not too much of a concern. Car is absolutely full of just every conceivable thing and like a whole wiring harness and stuff. I got pretty lucky at my local junkyard. I actually got a whole, I keep stepping on these pipes. I actually got interior, I got new seats that I'm gonna put in. I got some of the trim pieces for the interior that I was missing. Already heat wrapped, and I have a good AC hose set for mine. My AC hose was actually torn right down the middle. Brand new exhaust tips, the standard quad tips out of the GTs. Again, I want this to really look the part. I don't want it to look like some hack job car. I don't want it to look like it's just some swap that doesn't even remotely look right. I have new door cards as well. My car came with manual windows, manual mirrors, and even manual locks. I have all the components to replace over. I think the only thing I don't have out of my harness, I don't have the power mirror stuff, so I might have to rewire that. Wheels are off of a GT. That's how I bought the car, but when I went to the junkyard, the one that I got the interior out of, also happened to have some pretty decent GT wheels. So I got a whole spare set for no good reason, but they look good. They look really good. Obviously, I need to clean and paint the car towards the end of the project. The forward section was replaced with modern headlights from a guy called Projector Retrofit. I don't know if he's still in business. This is, if I can twist this thing up over here. This is a 4-pack of low beam, high beam lights. If it ever rotates. Oh my gosh. Which, by the way, all this stuff does still work for some strange reason. My car is actually not as sad as the exterior might look. The running components of the car work pretty decent. Bumpers are off because the car will scrape very easily when I try to put the engine in if I have any of the bumpers on. But like you see, yeah, we got 2 nice big projectors on here. I recently replaced this with some fanless LED bulbs off Amazon. I gotta see how I like those. If I don't like the performance I'm getting out of them, I'm actually gonna be swapping the heli units out here. They're a little dirty, they're a little beat up. I haven't even gotten, honestly, I've driven this car so little since I've had it that I haven't gotten a chance to even really test out how good this lighting system is. I know that the high beams are great. I know the low beams are kind of need to be aimed a little better. But yeah, that's that. This is my turn signal cancel resistors. All of the bulbs on this car have been replaced with LEDs, excluding interior bulbs right now. The rear is the taillight picture that I was showing you guys. So that's going to be a whole mess of a setup. I don't know what we're going to end up with that yet. And this is an override relay wiring, fire hazard that I created using a lot of pretty ridiculous components from, heck, I don't even know. I want to say they're all from McMaster Car. Basically what that's going to do is that is actually a daytime running light system that runs both of these on high when the headlamps are off, and when you hit the turn signal, it'll turn off the one that you turn. So it's kind of nifty. And then when the headlights are on, that has all the disabling circuit in it to make it work right. Far as I know, that's pretty legal. I don't see why it wouldn't be. I'm going to take some of this crap out of here, this little goofy shifter thing I have in here. Obviously, I get my door panels back on and stuff, so you know how that goes. But yeah, this is my project car, and I mean, I feel like it's a pretty good candidate. I've gotten a lot of comments from people who've seen the car, and they're really happy with my ability to drop my microphone or disable my microphone while I'm talking. There we go. Much better. So this is actually like a nifty little thing I did over. Oh, I didn't lock it down. Good. Nifty little thing I built over here. I got to clean this up. Obviously, the plastic's got a lot of dust on it. Built myself a little like race air box type thing over here. It's just a acrylic cover, some door edge molding strips from like AutoZone that I just kind of soldered the plastic together to kind of merge it there. I mean, I feel like it looks kind of okay. It came together pretty good. It looks like an actual real setup, and then I was able to bolt down the whatever this charcoal canister is here. I'm not really sure how that wires in yet. But yeah, there's that. And that whole thing, this actually sits in here, right? Let's figure it out. There it goes. That's how it goes in. And that goes down to a pipe underneath that goes out to our little ram air scoop. It says Fiero on it for some reason. I thought it was pretty cool looking. It's kind of cheesy, but whatever. It's my car. It's not your car. Obviously, there's a lot of work to do with this. First and foremost, to stop dropping my microphone. But yeah, it's coming along. But I'm definitely going to be doing more updates. Maybe not of this car, but of other stuff that I'm doing. but just so you guys understand like why I've been sort of dipping out and not really uploading videos quite as much as I was. Is a bunch of Harley riders because I'm kind of close to a highway here. But why I've been dipping out and kind of not being able to upload videos as much as I was is because I'm up here working on the car once a week. Whether I'm up here for 4, 6, 8 hours, it still takes me about 2 hours up and 2 hours down to get here because it's actually at my dad's house. He lives pretty far north of me, so it's a little bit of a challenge. It's part of the reason why it's been taking as long as it has to get this car done. Just for the proof there. I don't think I can get it from here. Let me walk around. So I haven't actually driven this car since probably at least 2013. And it's, 2021 is when I'm making this video. So there you go. Everybody laugh at the guy who has a project car that isn't finished in any semblance of time, but I don't know. I'm taking my time with this thing. I want everything to be perfect. I've had way too many issues with, not necessarily with this car, but with my other car. Not with my daily driver, obviously, but basically I want to do, as an actual project, I want to fix my other car. Obviously I have the 88 Fiero. I have a 17 Subaru Forester. And I also have a 1991 Mercury Capri XR2, which is kind of cool. It was one of the first, if not the first, Australian cars imported to America. And I don't know, it's kind of nifty. I like the little performance convertible car. It sucks that the thing blew up as hard as it did. But I want to make like a long-standing project video out of that because I feel it's a good candidate. Like, we already have Ronald Finger. He made the Fiero video. He did the Fiero series. I don't think I can even come close to his video in terms of quality, in terms of, knowledge, the amount of work he actually put into it. I don't think I can do that. I think I can upload much quicker than taking 6 months to edit a video, but again, that's down to us being in sort of similar situations of where the vehicle's located, where we can work on it, when we can work on it. So that's that. I'm going to cut to a little bit of just footage of that Mercury, just so you guys can actually see that for some stupid reason all I do is buy silver cars, and I don't really know why. That's just how my luck is. But yeah, I'm going to cut into a little bit of that, but I'm hoping you guys are sticking with this. Really appreciate you. Of course the bike's got to come back. Anyway, so that was the car. You see, it's kind of interesting looking. Definitely interesting to me. That's why I purchased the thing a long time ago, even before the Pontiac. But yeah, hopefully I can get more content out to you guys. Like I said, I don't want to flood this with like Fiero content because I know, again, Ronald Finger did such a wonderful job on his. I have nothing but props for the guy, so I don't want to take any steam from that and make it look like I'm just copying, pasting what someone else had done already. So, but yeah, we're gonna hopefully be getting more content of different and varying qualities for you. But I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.